Hello and welcome back to the next portion of your course. Hopefully by now you will have watched the first video listed under Meet Your Class Professor. That explains a little bit about my philosophy as an instructor, also what is expected from you as a student in this course. I want to take a few moments in this video to describe Canvas and how it works. So by now, hopefully you will have signed into Canvas and have logged in and you've looked around and become familiar with the course. If you see me glancing over to the other side of the screen, it's because I am looking at the same thing you would look under when you look at Canvas and what it appears on your end. The first step is that if you bought a book that has a MyCJLab code, you will need to activate it. So how do you do this? Well, first, you have to log in to your Canvas course. Once you're inside Canvas, you will then look for the link titled My Lab and Mastering. When you click on that link, it will give you instructions on how to activate your MyCJLab code, including creating an account in Pearson for the MyCJLab. Now, I will caution you on one thing. If the system is asking you for an access code from the instructor, you are doing something wrong. More often than not, what is happening is that you are going to, or you're trying to go to MyCJLab directly, and this will not work. So again, if the system says, please contact your instructor for a course ID, you are doing something wrong. And what you need to do to correct that is to log into your Canvas online course and then click on MyCJLab or My Lab and Mastering, and then follow the instructions on how to create a Pearson MyCJLab account, and then enter the activation code. You will only do this once. Once you enter the code, your computer account in Canvas will be linked directly to MyCJLab, and you will not have to do it again. So only one-time code activation, and then you're good to go. The other thing is for you to become familiar with announcements. I post a lot of my announcements throughout the week, throughout the semester in the area of listed as announcements, and you are expected to read those. At times, I also email students, especially if they are struggling with the online class and you need a little help and motivation to get back on track. Next section we have is syllabus, and syllabus, when you click on Canvas, doesn't just have a link to the class syllabus, which is a contract between you and I on what you are expected to do and learn from this course. But in syllabus page in Canvas, it shows a list of upcoming assignments in terms of deadline that are coming up. So if this course begins in, say, it's a summer course, May 8th, you click on Canvas or on syllabus, and that page will have a list of the upcoming assignments. In Canvas, every time the assignment closes, it will gray out that particular assignment. And then the upcoming assignments, if they're not grayed out, it means that you're expected to complete them. Also, other areas that you need to become familiar with, we'll start with the people. I encourage you, if you haven't already done so, to click on your personal account and type a short biography about yourself. Upload a picture, a recent picture. In the biography, I'd like you to simply state how many semesters you have been in college, what your career goals are, what are your academic goals, what are some of your obstacles that you may be looking at in terms of completing this class, what are some of your hobbies. And one thing I will note about your personal picture is that I do not want you to include anything in your picture other than yourself. That includes your cat, your dog, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. I only want you to have your picture on there if you choose to do so. The main reason for posting a picture, just so you know, is to make this online class environment more like the regular classroom, so that when you are completing discussions, when you are entering into conversations online class with other classmates, you know what they look like and they know what you look like. So again, I would encourage you, and it's one of the first class assignments, to update your account in Canvas so that you have a recent picture and those questions that I asked you about how long you've been in college, career, academic goals, etc. The next part on here, you will see discussions. Throughout the semester, you will be expected to complete discussions. I need you to get into the mindset of this course opens, or the module opens on Monday and closes on Friday. So on Monday, we basically start one chapter in the regular semester, or up to 4 chapters throughout the compressed summer course semesters. So if Monday we start the first chapter or the first 4 chapters, by Wednesday you are expected to complete that weekly discussion posting. What that means is you'll click on discussions, or go into the module, click on discussions for that week, and then you need to respond to the question that is being asked. You will not be able to view other students' postings until you post your own message. I encourage you to follow the word count. What that means is that your first posting must be 175 to 200 words, and then once you post that to the classmates, you will then be able to view other students' postings and respond to them. You are required to respond to 2 other students' postings before Friday. Now, I always tell you that it closes at 8:59, but in actuality, I leave assignments open until 11:59 p.m., but that's Pacific Standard Time. I know that some of you taking this class, you are not on the west coast of California. You're actually on the east coast. There's a 3-hour difference. So you will see me telling you that everything closes at 8:59 p.m. on Sunday. So again, this is my suggestion, that you start the class on Monday. By Wednesday, you post your first discussion posting, continue reading, and then by Friday, you respond to at least 2 other students' postings. Now, the course will stay open all the way through Sunday at 8:59 p.m. And that is by the date that you're expected to take the 4 online quizzes if it's during a summer semester, compressed semester, or 1 weekly quiz if it's during the regular spring and fall semester. So I encourage you to do that. You will be deducted points for not responding to the class discussions, so I encourage you to get that done in a timely manner. The next part down here is grades. If you haven't already done so on your smartphone, you can download the app for Canvas, and you can follow your online class from your smartphone. It will have an updated course grade. I want you to pay specific close attention to that grade, because I update grades on a regular basis. So as soon as they close, the assignments will close on Sunday, I then go into the grade book and I update that. And so on your end, you can see exactly how you're doing throughout the full semester. If you see that you're failing the class, I think that it's a good time to reach out to me, tell me what's going on, see if I could help you. I will tell you this, it is never a good idea to wait until the very end of the course to reach out for help from the instructor. Many times my hands are tied in terms of time limits and other obligations that I have in my academic and personal life that I won't be able to help you. So most quizzes that I have set up for this online class will have 2 attempts, and the system within either MyCJLab or Revel will document your highest attempt and drop it into my gradebook. Use that app in your smartphone to stay on top of your gradebook. The other thing here that you have is that there's a link to modules. If you're in the regular semester, you click on modules and it'll have a list of chapters that we're going to cover for that particular part of the semester. If you were in a compressed summer course, for example, 5-week summer course or 10-week, when you click on modules, it will correspond with the week in the course. Most of my courses have 5 modules. Basically, within each module, there's 3 or 4 chapters, and then usually module 5 is when you're going to have the final exam. And depending on the class you're taking with me, it's either going to be a certain amount of chapters or a cumulative final exam, and those exams are usually 1 attempt, and most of the questions on those exams come directly from the weekly quizzes. So pay specific attention to those weekly quizzes. I encourage you to, throughout the semester, take lots of notes, print out stuff on your screen.
It's 14 hours.
Keep a close journal of everything you're doing in the class, so that when you get to the final exam, you will have a stack of notes that you can refer to. All of the online quizzes in my courses are not timed, so if you have a disability or you have anxiety or you just need additional time, it's already put in there for you. Currently, my CJ Lab package that I offer for students has access to an online e-textbook. I encourage you to use the search feature on that online e-textbook to search for a lot of the academic material that is being asked throughout the course. Some of you will try to take the I want to buy a used book, I'm going to do very minimal that I can to get along in this class. Many past students who ignored my advice to buy the online e-textbook have found that they have spent many hours researching material that students that have the online e-textbook can simply type on their search bar, and it tells you exactly what page of the textbook that material is being covered. So this is a basic introduction to Canvas and what to expect in my online course. After you watch this video, or during, if you're listening to me, write down some questions as far as, hey, you didn't cover this, or what about that? And I will post those questions in the Cyber Cafe area of discussions. And that's also another area for you to post questions. Sometimes during the night you can't get a hold of me. You can go on the discussions area, go on Cyber Cafe, type in a question for your classmates, and have them respond to you many times before I even get back to you. If you want a personal response from me, go into the inbox email of Canvas and please email me directly. Lastly, one of the things that I just recently changed after talking to a lot of students on the best ways to contact me is that I added Instagram. If you have an Instagram account and you want to send me a message on Instagram, search for ADJU space MJC. And that also applies to Facebook. We have a Facebook program page. You can access something called Messenger in Facebook, and we can chat back and forth. The last thing is that you can send me a text to my cell number, and that's area code 858-314-8608. No matter how you reach me, though, whether you're going to email me, you're going to Instagram me, you're going to Facebook me, your email should always start with your first and last name. You would say, "Hi, Dr. Silva. My name is John Smith. I'm in your 202 online class, section 1234, and I have a question for you on X, Y, and Z." So it's important for you to understand that I get 10 to 15, sometimes more emails per day. So it's a lot helpful for me if you include your first and last name, the class that you're currently registered in, and be specific on what is your question. So introduce yourself, what class are you in, and what is your question, and I usually get back to you. If for some reason you text me or email me and 2-3 days have passed by during the week and you don't hear from me, I encourage you to go to plan B, which means if you try to reach me on text and you didn't hear back from me, try to reach me on Instagram, you don't hear back from me, try to reach me on Facebook, you don't hear back from me, Canvas, and so plan B, plan C, plan D. I don't want you to send me a message in one of these modules of social media and you don't hear from me, and then you freeze up and a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and you're lost, and then the semester's over and you reach out to me, "Hey, I never heard back from you." So if you've taken my regular in the classroom classes, you know that I am on top of responding to students as soon as possible. I want to see you become successful. So that concludes this next video, or this second video, which is the Canvas, introduction to Canvas, introduction to the course, and thank you for listening.